Hi class, I'm making this video because I just spent the last few hours reading your papers, and I wanted to go over for your research paper some things that are very important for the works cited page. Please note that you are required to only use our library website. That means that you cannot use Wikipedia as a source or any other source that is not from our library website. So if you do use a source from Wikipedia or any other source that's not from our library website, or you use Google, it is going to be discounted as a source for your research paper, and it will not go towards your research paper. And so you will lose a lot of points because of that. And if it goes below the amount of the required research sources, then it will not meet the requirements of the research paper. Remember, this is a research paper and not an essay. So research means that you do the research online. So I just wanted to review with you a few things. First of all, if you're confused on how to do research and you need help, right here on the library website, there's a little on the ribbon, on the red ribbon, it says Ask a Librarian. You can click on this link. There's a 24 hour, 7 days a week chat that you can ask any librarian any time of the day a question that you have about research. You can schedule an appointment, you can make an in-person appointment, or you can email a librarian. So this is at your fingertips to be able to use for your research paper. And you can get help via Zoom if you want to, or via phone call. So you can ask a librarian if you're having a hard time finding literary analysis for your paper, because I did give you some of the databases that you can look, and you're having a difficulty finding it, then you can work with one of the librarians either in our library, or if you do the 24/7 chat, it'll be a library someplace in some college or some university that can help you with research. So that's one of the tools that you can use if you are having difficulty finding literary analysis. The other tool is to put in literary analysis here at the start, and to search for articles or books, and then just put a search engine. And so you could do that, or you could do an advanced search about particular items that you want. For example, if you are analyzing 3 or 4 short stories by a particular author and you want some literary criticism on that, then you can search in that way. But you cannot use anything outside of this library website as a source. And you need to use this library website for your research. And then the databases again are here where it says databases, so you could click on the databases. So there's a variety of databases that you can look at. You can look at the academic one file. You can look at American drama if you're doing one of the drama playwrights. You can look at arts and humanities database, the biography. The biography database is very good to get research information. That's another source that you can use. You can use JetStore. Let's see, I'm sorry, EBSCOhost. There's a variety of web databases that we have that you can use in our library website. So these are the databases that you can use. Here's JSTOR. You can use also opposing viewpoints. You can also use ProQuest. the psychology journals, if you're talking about Edgar Allan Poe and some of the psychological aspects of what he's talking about. So these are the databases that you can use. And these are the databases that I'm expecting you to use in your research paper. And I am checking your works cited page. And I check your works cited page before I even start reading your research paper. So you need to make sure that you use the library database for your research. And also make sure that you have followed MLA format. That's why I've required the handbook with this class for rules for writers to use MLA format. Some of you are not formatting your works cited pages MLA format, and you are required to do that. One of the student learning outcomes of this class is to write in MLA format. Another student learning outcome is to do research on our library database. So you are only allowed to use this particular library database as a source of a place of information to get your information. And also, I looked at your drafts, and some of you were saying things like Emily Dickinson, who was born on December blah 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 19 blah blah blah, and you're not citing that. That is not general information that everybody knows. You have to cite where you got that information. If you're going to put in any biographical information, or if somebody got married at 18, or if somebody lived in a particular city, or they grew up in a particular area, whatever it is, you have to cite where you got that information. You can't just put that information in there without providing proof of where you found that information. The only thing that you don't have to cite is general information that we all know. For example, George Washington was the first president of the United States. That's something that you don't have to worry about citing because that's general information that we all know. But all of these details about the authors that you're talking about, when you're talking about the year they were born, when you're talking about where they grew up, what age they were when they got married, or what kind of family relationships they had, that information is not general knowledge, and you need to cite that information from where you got that source. So you need to put quotations around it, or it will be considered plagiarized and it will not be considered a passing paper. So for those of you who are citing correctly, this probably won't matter for you. This video won't matter for you. For those of you who have used the library website, this won't matter for you at all because there's several of you who are doing taking all your information from the library website. This only concerns those individuals who are using Wikipedia, which is not an appropriate search engine, or any Google information that is not an appropriate search engine, and it will not be a passing grade if you do that, because this is a research paper that you have to find on your own in your own research. And I will remind you, if you are having difficulty doing research by yourself, then you can work with a librarian in the library and ask a librarian for help. And you have many avenues to ask a librarian for help. Also on the library page, there's a whole section on how to do MLA format if the book is not helpful for you. So it will show you MLA, the 8th and 9th edition, and how to cite your sources for the works cited page. And there's a quick MLA guide over here for you too. So you have that as an option. And then you also can get help. There's research guides here in the library to help you, and you can pick, English and what you're looking for. So there's a lot of support for you on campus if you are having difficulty, but you need to keep these things in mind because when you turn in your research paper, it has to show that you've done research. So I hope this is helpful, and now that you've turned in your second draft, you can work on finalizing your paper and working on your final drafts. And I do want to remind you that regarding the final draft, so your paper must be 8 to 10 pages. That is of your writing. So that does not include the works cited page. Okay, your paper must be written in MLA format and you must have a works cited page. You must use at least 5 sources from the library website. Look at what I've put here. You must use at least 6 quotes in the paper, and you must have a strong thesis and title. So you need to go over this and look at, some of you have made some really, really good comments on your peers' papers, and that's been very positive and very helpful for your peers, and that has made a world of difference for them. I have noted that on your papers as well, that you got really good comments from your peers. But the paper, in the end, I am going to be looking for these details. So make sure that you cite all the sources that you found this information, and not to put arbitrary biographical information about these authors without using proof of where you found that information. Additionally, a lot of you are starting your papers with talking about an author and giving the date of the birth of the author in chronological order of the author's life. And I'm actually not looking for that in a research paper. What I'm looking for in a research paper is that you do literary analysis on the author's work. So you should be focusing on whatever work that you have that you want to analyze, and developing that and starting your research papers with points that you want to make about the actual work of the author rather than the biography of the author. If you want to throw the pieces of the biography of the author somewhere in the paper, that's okay. It's appropriate. You can do that. But if you're going to put in the biography of the author, please make sure that you cite it and you have a reason for the biography. I mean, that you're just not throwing in there. We don't need to know when the author was born or where the author grew up. We don't need to know all of those details unless those details have something to do with the actual readings that you are analyzing. So what I'm really looking for is critical analysis of your papers here, and not just information about the author. So I hope this helps. Your paper is due on December 12th, and your final exam will also be due on December 12th. And this class actually ends on December 12th, which is next Monday. So just keep those things in mind. This is the last week of school, and after Monday, this module is going to close. The Canvas page is going to close, and I'm going to start working on grades, which I will be having by the end of next week. Okay?